Thanks guys for coming back to another video. As I was in prayer with the Lord this morning, I was questioning him in regards to this extremely high watch period that we are in right now. I was posing a lot of questions to him and asking him a lot of things in regards to timing, in regards to calendars, in regards to purposes and plans that have been told to me over the last several years. That's all pointing to this time period now. I had an awful lot of questions for him this morning, but when I sat and waited on a response from him, what I received was not actual answers to what I had posed, but a message that he wanted to bring forth publicly. And so that is the reason for this video today. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. The message this morning, dated March the 12th, 2018. Publicly starts right here. It says, "Daughter, among the things that we desire to say unto you this day, my love, it is this: my ways upon the earth for all of man to see shall come forth in the coming days. You shall see it with your own eyes. Experience it, my love, and show it unto many. There are specific days that this will come forth upon the world. And in those days there shall be great unrest. My love, listen. There is something forthcoming that is a great tragedy. It will procure many deaths upon the world. Watch and see, for what I say is true. If you shall allow me, I shall take you to these things." To see it, I questioned, and it was yes, so that you could understand it better. So I guess what I'm thinking here is either I'm going to be receiving a dream, a vision, or something to allow me to see into the spirit so that I can see exactly what he's talking about here. He said, "My love, listen. There are many along the way who desire to thwart your plan and purpose in me." Now, I understand this to mean the dark spirits, the evil spirits. There are those that are out there trying to hinder my progress with him and my learning. I've seen that, and I've been experiencing that. But I have also experienced too some really off-color comments and some things along that line. I'm wondering where some of the anger and hatred is based out of. But guys, you know, we know that there are some that are out there that just don't want to hear what is coming forth. They don't agree with it, and they like to lash out or just go ahead and jump to conclusions in regards of what you're saying. So guys, if that's happening to you, I want to say this to you now. Stand firm. Focus upon the Lord. Don't listen to those things. Continue walking forth. Continue pressing in. We're so close to being home now. We're so close. Don't let those things bother you anymore. The Lord is fully aware of that, and he's been watching that, and they will have to account for that. So let's go ahead and continue this message. He said, "Hold fast now, my dove, and listen to the words that I'm saying to you this day. Shout out from the rooftops that the King is coming." Guys, the King is coming. He is coming. He is coming. He shall make his way here unto us in the coming days. Watch and see, for what I say is true. Your ways upon the earth are over. Now he's talking about man's ways, okay? Because his ways and man's ways are not the same. So your ways upon the earth are over, and I believe he's speaking to a specific group here. The hindrances that you have allowed in your life will be cast down. Nothing that is not of me shall remain, for all shall be shaken. My words are truth, my love, and many shall know this in the coming days. Great glory will emerge right before your eyes, and many will not know what to do. Watch for them, look for them, for they are mine, and will come forth upon the earth. They have forsaken all, prepared themselves, provided a way, a path for my coming. They have put forth my life as priority in theirs. Now I believe he's speaking to somebody else, another group. He said, my loves, listen. You are accounted worthy for all these things to happen to you. Now, I had to go back to the Father. What I had in my mind was he was speaking about those being infilled, and I needed for him to reinforce that with me so that I could fully understand what he was saying here, because he was just speaking to a different group. And so I asked him about this. I said, Lord, I'm not fully understanding. Can you tell me this again? And he is speaking to those who are being infilled here. He says, my loves, listen. You are accounted worthy for these things, this infilling, to happen to you. You will walk forth in my glory throughout the world, showing my way unto many. They will thwart the plan of the evil one, making way for my goodness upon the earth. Many will come forth unto their glory and be shown the way. So what he's saying is their glory is going to draw a lot of people. It's going to draw people to them. So hinder not their plans, for they have been called to great and mighty things. They shall walk forth in great glory unto many. Stretch out your hand for them, for they will show you the way unto peace, protection, and providence. So he's saying, guys, don't be afraid of them. Reach out for them. Talk to them. They'll show you the way. They'll help you. Okay? They'll help you. So hold fast, my dear ones. Watch and see for what I say is true. Great trouble is on the horizon. Look up. It is coming forth, I say, and many are unaware of its arrival. Watch for what I say is true. Many will be harmed during this event. Stand forth now, my little ones. Stand strong. For this time has come. For the time has come for events to begin. Shalom. And that was the end of the message today. Now, in the document that I'm going to share, I did define quite a few of the words and everything that he had in this message. So I'll go ahead and share that in the video today. Now, he's talking about the horizon. He's saying to look on the horizon. Now, guys, I know this is not a new message. This is not something new that he has been telling us. He's been telling a lot of the messengers over the last several years about something coming on the horizon. I even went through and did a query today on that particular word, horizon, through the messages that he's given me, and I found some that were all the way back in early 2016, where he was talking about something coming up on the horizon. And even before that, it was like, look up, look to the east, and trying to keep us focused on looking up and looking toward the east. Guys, do I know exactly what this is going to be on the horizon? I really don't. Is it Planet X and the Nibiru and Moon system that that people have been seeing? It could quite possibly be. Is it a missile maybe that's going to be shot? Is something going to happen? Nuclear wise? We've all had these visions and dreams of something like that coming to pass? Is it going to be a water event? We've had those dreams too. Is it going to be an earthquake? We've had those dreams too. Is it the tectonic plates? That's something else that's been talked about. Could it be a meteorite? Some type of fiery object coming from the sky. The Lord has given messages in regards to fiery rain as well. And so the problem with receiving the messages that the Lord has given us, whether it be through messages or visions or dreams, or actually something where we feel like we're experiencing something, we're there in the night, in the spirit. The problem with all of that is that we don't know when all of these things time out. We don't know where they fall in the whole scheme of things. Is this an event that is when the wrath of God comes down? Is it when in the great tribulation end of things? Is it in the judgments? Is it something that we'll see? Is it something that we won't see? So we don't really know. And so some of these things that we're putting forth as messengers of the Lord, when He gives us something like this, we have to put them forth. And then at some point, He gives the wisdom and the forethought to those to start putting some of these puzzle pieces together, because we all have a little piece of something. And even though it may seem like, no, that's not quite right, or no, that person's not saying something quite right, it all fits together in the whole scheme of things, because the Lord has given something to someone to say a specific way, and He's given it to another to say in a specific way, because it could be for different times. We just don't know. We have no idea. And when we look at some of these things, we think it's just, day 1, this is going to happen. Day 2, this is going to happen. Day 3, this is going to happen. And it's hard to keep in our minds that it could be spread out, over time, or it could be happening like dominoes, just like He told us, one thing after another after another. And what does that really mean, And so it's hard for us to grasp sometimes, as messengers, or just as people listening to some of these messages, to try and get it all balanced out and to understand how it's all going to come to be. But guys, I'm here to say He has been continuing to point to something on the horizon. And it is now that He is basically saying this is going to be quite a calamity, quite a disastrous event, where suffering is going to be there, and death. And so, distress, misery. Guys, I need to point you to that, and I need to make you aware of that. That is the warning that He wanted put out today. There is something coming. Now, I have tripped across a couple of YouTube videos that seem to confirm something in the cosmos. But I do want to remind you back several years ago, Bond's blog had some prophecy out where she brought forth the prophetic word from the Lord that there's going to be some type of cataclysmic cosmic event, and that is what is really going to start the whole thing. We're going to see something up in the sky. We're going to have a very short warning period, and then something is going to occur. An earthquake, I believe, is what it is. Now, the Lord has given me in the last 2 videos that He wanted to brought forth publicly. That is what He said. He said the great shaking was coming, and so did Father. He also confirmed it in that one message. And so now He's telling us again. He's reminding us about the horizon, and He's telling us to look up. And so this is kind of lining up again with what Bond's blog has put out many years ago. And then we've also had warnings about the colors in the sky, and different things along that nature. So guys, I tripped across a couple of, actually I was sent one link from a friend of mine, and another was a video that I happened to see when I was listening to that particular video. Along the side scroll, there was another video with a title that kind of caught my eye in regards to Esther, because the Lord has been pointing me to Esther and the purification process of Esther. And so I clicked on the particular video that I happened to see that was linked in with Esther. But as I went up into this young lady's channel, I couldn't believe some of the things that I was seeing in there, because it was actually confirming quite a lot of things that the Lord's been talking about over the last 6 months. And so let me just show you the two videos that seem to confirm each other in regards to something on the horizon. This is the first one. Let me just scroll down to show you who it is. This particular title, the channel name is Step Up, and this was a video that was put out on March the 10th. I'll just show you that she was talking about the planets lining up, aligning, okay? Now, the video that was sent to me by a friend of mine is this. This is Latter Rain 333. This was published March the 10th again. And I'll need you to take a look here. When she's talking about in this video, she's talking about planet alignment. So she's giving some information here that is confirming to this other video as well. So these are the two channels that if you have just a moment, take a listen and see what they're talking about. So is this really what the Lord is speaking of? Is this the possibility of seeing something in the sky? You know, is something like this going to pop up when we just happen to be looking out over the sea and seeing this? You know, this is what we're seeing now, but we know that there's a thin veil that is covering the spiritual side, and what's behind that veil we can't really see. Now, we've been seeing some planets popping up on the horizon. Some people are saying there's been 2 suns. Some are saying there's 2 moons. There's several lights out there, and we need to see what's going on. But guys, is it this? Is it Planet X and Nibiru and what all is coming up? Is that what the Lord is speaking of? There have been many prophecies that have come out that have just basically talked about that when people have had dreams, they see these planets that are so close to our Earth, it almost looks like it's right on top of us. And then some of the older prophecies of Planet X and Nibiru linked to, you know, mass civilizations ending up missing or dying. So guys, I want you all to dig into that. I'm going to ask that you please seek the Lord on that. He has not told me exactly what it is, but with all the little pieces and parts that seem to be coming out, something's up. If one of these things gets close enough to us, can it cause a cataclysmic event? Can it cause a huge earthquake? I would imagine so. Will it bump us? Is that the great shaking? Because remember now, we talked about not just an earthquake, but we talked about the earth quaking. It's going to be a big event. Whatever it is, it's going to be a big event. So guys, we may see stuff looking like this today, but know something's coming on the horizon, and the Lord is telling us to look up. Is this indeed what's coming, as some of the other channels have been broadcasting? Excuse me. I don't know. But I can say this, guys, if this is what you see one day, and as you're driving into work or driving home from work, or, you know, going to church, or, you know, doing your work for the Lord or for your family or whatever, and all of a sudden you look up and you happen to see something like this very close, and those planets are aligning. See how these are aligning up? Hang on, I just lost my picture. See how they're lining up there? Don't stop and take pictures. Don't ooh and ah. Get your supplies. Get your house ready. Ensure you've got food in the house. Go to the store. Get food, get water, get supplies. Make phone calls to your family. Get your emergency plan in place. Let people get them into your house. We all know, we know by some of the videos and the other messengers videos that are out there, that we have a hedge around us as Christians. We absolutely do, and we talked about that in Job. You know, even Satan said to the Lord, said to God, said, you know, God says, well, have you considered my servant Job? And he says, well, you know I can't do anything. You got a hedge around him, around his house, and everything all about him. So, you know, there are hedges there. There are things. Our property is going to be safe. Look back to some of those videos, because we've attached other videos from other messengers that make sure that they're explaining some of their visions and dreams and stuff, and that their property was okay. So guys, I don't want to scare you. I don't want to alarm you, but I want to let you know, look to the horizon. That's what the Lord is saying. So now when I went back through and I did a query for some of these other messages, I came across one that I would like to share with you, because it was a conversation that I had with the Lord that I jotted down. And I think it, for some reason, I really feel drawn to share it in this video. I believe someone needs to hear it. Now, if you have not, if you're not aware that we're in a very, very high watch period now, I'm going to ask that you listen, okay? I'm going to ask that you listen. So this is a conversation that I had with the Lord on March the 15th. And I said to him, I said, Father, you have asked me to stay true to my calling, to be your mouthpiece. And so I asked him that day, I said, is there anything you wish to share this day? And this is what he said. He said, my child, share this, that my time upon this earth is coming quickly, that I will be here to sort through the right and the wrong, the good and the bad, the meek and the proud. There shall be nothing left but those who are mine, says the Lord. All will have been given choices, and those choices will serve as their judgment. It is not I who judges, but that which is within someone, the truth, the word. That sorts to the bone what is true and honorable, just and full of light. My life in the lives of those I have called is seen by many. Those who have it not are void of all understanding. Seek me now while you still can, my children. Press in to the truths that are being provided. Know and understand that I will gather unto myself my own. There shall be a gnashing of teeth, grumblings among those left behind. But I say this to you this day, sort out the truth and stand upon it. The foundation is and has been provided for you. A house upon sinking sand will not stand. And I said, Father, I understood that the catching away of your people will happen in waves. Now here, what I'm saying here is, now we know about first fruits. We know about the big harvest. We also know that there's going to be some that are going to go through the tribulation. So this is in different waves. And so I asked him, I said, are you speaking about when the first catching away is done? And he said, I speak of all times, my love, for many will not turn until the very last minute. There will come a time that will be too late. I said, what must they do, Lord? He said, turn, come to me, show me their heart. Is it true to me or to other things? other people. My child, the time is now to ensure safe passage. All shall be numbered. All shall be accounted for. Not one will be left if it is true in their heart to be with me. I said, Lord, we know there is nothing you cannot do. You are in control of all things, and what you do in love. Father, when will this start? He said, my child, it is on the horizon, nearer than you think. And I know that many are speculating, but my ways upon your life have already started. My ways within you are being activated. My thoughts are becoming your thoughts, my heart becoming yours. Things have started, my love, and will continue to progress. Falter not, my children. Do not be dismayed. I have all things in control, and it will be as I have purposed for it to be. Nothing more, nothing less. Exact, right on time. And that was the end of the conversation. So guys, even back in March of 2017, things that had already started, and again he is coming back again with on the horizon. So guys, please take some time. Seek the Lord on this. Make sure your hearts are right. Make sure you're ready for what's getting ready to happen. And if you don't know the Lord as your Lord and Savior, your personal Lord and Savior, go to Him now. Go to Him now. He came to this world so that we would have the opportunity to have forgiveness of sins, to be able to be covered, so that when God looks upon us, He sees His Son. He sees purity. He sees everything His Son stood for, because His Son was perfect. And so when His Son died on the cross, He allowed His blood to cover us and do so many other things. But in the purposes of salvation, He opened the door too, so that we could now commune with the Father. It's so important what He did for us. There's so many different little things. But understand that if He did not do what He did, none of us would be able to look forward to anything. None of us would be forgiven. None of us would be saved. None of us would be able to stand up and be able to talk to our God and to know what true love is all about. Guys, take some time. If you're not understanding, reach out. Let's talk about these things. Let's make sure you understand why He did these things and why it's so important that you understand and have a relationship. Because it's more than just saying, yes, I believe. You need to know who He is. It's all about who are you, and does He know who you are? Does He know you? Do you know Him? He is so loving and kind and merciful and full of grace. But times are changing now, guys. We're now entering into a time of accountability. The grace is ending. Get on the boat. Get on the boat, please, before it's too late. God bless you all.